is Win News.
Tonight, dramatic security vision of a knife-wielding attacker robbing a service station. Catholic school teachers walk off the job for 4 hours and Labor councillors backflip on the Gong shuttle. Good evening, I'm Amy Duggan. Also tonight, share trading resumes in troubled miner Wollongong Coal. A Culburra Beach business owner fears the seaside town is becoming a soft target for desperate criminals following an armed robbery at his service station. At the same time, he's praised police for their efforts in capturing the alleged robber and putting him before Nowra local court.
Charging in, brandishing a knife, the hooded 20-year-old motions to the till, keeping the large knife poised at the shop attendant until she bundles up about $1,000 in cash and hands it over.
10 people will face court next year for allegedly smuggling contraband into Nowra's South Coast Correctional Facility. Shoalhaven Police joined forces with the New South Wales Corrective Services to search 19 people and 9 vehicles and successfully seized prohibited drugs, tobacco, ammunition and prescription medication. 10 people were charged and are due to face court in the second week of January. Teachers from most Catholic schools across the Illawarra have stood in defiance of proposed changes to their enterprise agreement by the Catholic Education Office. They walked off the job for 4 hours, not over pay, but over what they say is the right to arbitrate disagreements.
Hundreds joined the Independent Education Union for the second round of industrial action.
Wollongong's Labor councillors have backflipped on the free Gong shuttle, now saying they want ratepayers to partially fund the service. Both Liberal and Labor councillors want council to contribute an eighth of the bus's running costs. If the university chips in another eighth, the service can remain free.
With the clock to keep the Gong shuttle free ticking, the Deputy Lord Mayor has changed his tune. Up until now, Labor has demanded the bus remain free and the state government shoulder the burden.
A flood watch has been issued for South Coast rivers with the Weather Bureau, expecting rainfall of up to 100 millimetres in some areas over the next 24 hours. South Coast catchments that may be affected include the Clyde, Bega, Maruya and Churros rivers, as well as St George's Basin. Flash flooding is likely in low-lying areas. Meanwhile, Berry residents have all but finished cleaning up after a mini storm that whipped through Berry on Saturday afternoon, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The heavy rain and strong winds tearing down trees, leaving roads blocked, and falling branches caused damage to parked cars. Coming up next on Win News, trading resumes in Wollongong coal shares as the company reports another big loss, and the New South Wales Governor opens Shellharbour's new civic centre. Has resumed on the stock exchange today in shares in the embattled miner Wollongong Coal after the company filed its interim financial report for the September half year. The company, which runs Wongawilli and Russellvale collieries, reported a net loss of almost $24 million for the period. Kiama and the Shoalhaven have been identified as 2 melanoma hotspots in the state. According to data from the Cancer Institute, the incidence rate for melanoma is 64.7 per 100,000 for Kiama and 54.1 in Shoalhaven, both significantly higher than the state average of 50.5. Shellharbour Council is moving into its new home at the Civic Centre from this week. Formerly known as the City Hub, the once controversial facility has been officially opened, with work completed within budget.
Shellharbour's new Civic Centre officially opened 24 years after the project was first mooted.
Time for sport now with Melissa Russell and East Corrimal's Emma Tonegato at her brilliant best in Dubai, Mel.
That's right, Amy. The 22-year-old was instrumental in Australia's Rugby Sevens World Series win. We'll have more on that next. And Port Kembla golfer Jordan Zunic impresses at the PGA Championship.
This report brought to you by Nikolovsky Lawyers. With you all the way.
Port Kembla golfer Jordan Zunic has fallen just short of victory at the Australian PGA Championship on the Gold Coast. The 25-year-old fired 11 birdies on Saturday before a bogey and double bogey on the last 2 holes. East Corrimal's Emma Tonegado was starred for Australia in its Rugby Sevens World Series win in Dubai. The Aussies were at their dominant best against the USA in the final, Tonegado putting first points on the board for her side. And that is Monday Sport, Amy.
Thank you very much, Mel. We'll see you again tomorrow. That means it's weather time with Tanya Dendrinos, and it was a much cooler day across the region today, Tanya.
It sure was, Amy. Showers about, and it didn't feel much like summer. I'll bring you the forecast for the week ahead next. Hello again. Temperatures sat well below average today. Many stargazers will be hoping for a break in the cloud cover this evening to catch a glimpse of the supermoon. Tonight's weather shot is thanks to Lenore, who captured a storm front over Wollongong at the weekend. And our weather pick of the day competition is now officially underway for your chance to win an incredible Weber prize pack valued at $3,000 thanks to Blue Sky Illawarra. Take your weather snap from your favourite spot in the region and in 25 words or less describe what you love most about that place. Entries should be emailed to weatherwall@winnewsouthwales.com.au. Let's have a look at the details from today. Temperatures felt much cooler than the mercury showed, with the warmest apparent temperature in Wollongong around 13 degrees. There was rain across the region with 34 millimetres into the gauge at point perpendicular to 5 p.m. A low of 7 for Goulburn. It topped out at just 13 degrees today. Taking a look at the rainfall in the 24 hours, 9 a.m. Brogo Dam picked up 37 millimetres, while 11 fell into the gauge at Currarong. On the satellite, a broad area of low pressure lies just off the New South Wales coast. On the synoptic, a number of localised low pressure circulations are forecast to develop within the low over the next couple of days. Now, the coastal trough has seen a severe weather warning issued for heavy rainfall between Nowra and Narooma until tomorrow afternoon. As we heard in news, there is potential for both flash flooding and localised flooding. 24-hour totals in excess of 100 millimetres are likely, with the bulk of the rain forecast to fall overnight. Tides will be abnormally high and water levels may reach or exceed the highest tide of the year. Taking a look at the waters, cloudy tomorrow with a very high chance of rain that will be heavy at times. There's also the chance of a storm, and there is a strong wind warning in place right down the coast, as well as a warning for hazardous surf conditions. So I'd say stay away from the waters if you can avoid it. Taking a look at the forecast for the Illawarra and Southern Highlands, overcast with a very high chance of rain. Heavy at times along the coastal fringe. There's also the chance of a storm near the coast. Winds will be breezy, top of 20 for Nowra tomorrow. Similar day for the south coast. Bateman's Bay dropping to 12, heading for a top of 18 degrees, 17 the forecast high at Narooma. So not overly summer-like. For Wollongong, showers ahead with up to 15 millimetres forecast. In the days ahead, Wednesday will be cloudy with a very high chance of showers. The chance of a storm about the highlands, and winds will be gusty. Thursday will be partly cloudy with a chance of a morning shower on the south coast. There's a chance of a few showers again on Friday, so don't pack that wet weather gear away just yet, Amy.
Good advice, thank you, Tanya. And that is Win News for Monday, December 4. To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Illawarra Facebook page. You can join us for the All Australian News at 11:30 and again tomorrow at 6 for Win Local News. Stay with us, the project's up next. I'm Amy Duggan. Thanks for your company. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, regional Australia's #1 news source.